Yo, what is going on? I am going to jump right into this training as it's something that I have a massive amount of passion for, and it is something that comes up over and over again anytime I'm working with clients in a mastermind. And so this training is going to be all about the things that stop us from moving forward. What I will tell you first and foremost is the answer is probably pretty obvious to you. You're not going to be shocked when I tell you it is typically fear that stops us from moving forward. And the answer to that will be answered here very shortly about how I'm able to overcome the same amount of fear that you might experience and how I'm able to overcome that to reach the results I want. So, first and foremost, if you want something, now this could be whether it needs to be working out, getting in shape, maybe it's business oriented, maybe you want to fire your boss, get out on your own, become a full-time real estate investor, become a full-time entrepreneur. I would really encourage you to do these things. Now, it's easier to say you're going to do these things, and that's why the New Year's resolutions are so popular, and it's also why they don't usually last very long. And there's statistics about how long New Year's resolutions last and how long people really work those New Year's resolutions. But what I'll tell you is based around over 10 years of building a business and based around constantly becoming better, learning, and doing a lot of self improvement on myself, and then also working with hundreds, if not thousands, of others. The main reason you don't have what you currently want is basically fear. And what fear does is and can be crippling for a lot of people. And so I want this training, I want this video to be about how I'm able to overcome that because I have the same fears, I have the same insecurities, I have the same what ifs scenarios that go through my head that you do. And I've just been able to internally find a process to digest that fear, insecurity, what if, and to be able to move forward despite of it. And so the first thing I'll tell you is more often than not, people actually fear what people think about them. And that's where I think is crazy. That's where I have such a hard time wrapping my head around why would anybody, myself, you, or anybody for that matter, care about what someone else thinks about them. If you live a good life, if you support your family, if you do the right actions, if you do the right things, why do you care what other people think? You're speaking your truth, you're being genuine, you're being authentic. You need to let go of what other people think because more often than not, what your fear is what if I fail? Then what will people think? How will they view me? What are they going to say? Are they going to snicker behind my back? And all the other crazy things that we tell ourselves that we go through when we're trying to make a decision, when we're trying to take action, when we're trying to better ourselves, when we're trying to fire our boss, when we're trying to start our own business, when we're trying to just do what we want to be doing. Each and every one of you guys have a passion, a desire, a happiness that you are not fulfilling right now. And I say that in terms of you're not fulfilling it to your highest level. And I would make the same argument about myself is I'm constantly striving to fulfill my passion, to fulfill my desires, and to fulfill my happiness each and every day. It is a constant work in progress that I personally go through. And so if I'm going through it, I am sure you guys are going through it. And so the first point of this is you have to get out of your head or get out of caring at all about what people think about you. That is crazy. It will stop you in your tracks if you care about what someone might put or say about you on Facebook or what someone might say about you on Instagram if you want to go live one day. Um, you know, they call them trolls. People that just want to go out and troll your social media and say negative stuff, no matter what it may be. And you got to just do it regardless of that, because if you're going to do something, you're going to put yourself out there. You can't care what people think. And you need to think about, the actors and musicians and artists that do this every single day. They go out and they paint. They go out and they perform music. They go out and make movies and TV, and they create. And they have to remove, athletes are the same way. They have to remove what people think about them or what people might say about them, because they're creating their happiness, they're creating their passion, their purpose, right? And so, fear is a crippler. There's no doubt about it. But one component of fear is fearing what other people think. And if you're ready to fire your boss, you're ready to become an entrepreneur, you're ready to go full time into real estate investing, you're ready to just be you and do what you want and do what you desire, then you have to remove caring about what other people think. Do it in spite of them. And the best way to do that is to hone in on your purpose, hone in on your happiness, hone in on your truth, hone in on your authenticity, right? And you will deliver, you will become, your actions will speak what you desire, right? What you want. And that ultimately will help you remove you caring at all about what other people think. I focus on that every single time I do these training videos. I focus on it when I'm doing my podcast. I focus on it when I'm working with clients one-on-one, when I'm working with our mastermind groups. I'm constantly removing my insecurity of what other people think, because I come in my words and my actions are genuine, they're authentic, they're coming from the right place. So I ultimately don't care what other people think about me or what I'm saying or my videos or my trainings or my podcast, because I'm speaking my truth. And so that's one tip for you guys to move past this place of fear. Now, the other fear is internal. What if I fail? What if I can't make enough money? What if it doesn't work? What will I do? What if I quit my job and I can't make, all that what if, that's internal. It's not necessarily always about what other people think. In a way that I cure that each and every time is I simply take action. You have to take massive action in this life. Action will kill your fear. Inaction will just continue to allow fear or insecurity to continue to grow, because you will continue to further your desire to want to do it. You will continue to further your unhappiness about, I'd rather be doing this than this. I'd rather work for myself than a boss. I'd rather make my time, my life the way I want to make it, rather than having to be scheduled because I have a 9 to 5. Your inaction will continue to lead to fear. But if you put in place of that action, and you continue to take action and take steps, then you will remove all of that fear, and you will start to see results. Now, that's easier said than done, right? So one thing I practice each and every single day is the ability to say, it's one foot in front of the other. Every day, life is going to punch me in the mouth. That's going to happen. I already know it. And it's going to punch you in the mouth every single day. Life isn't going to stop punching us in the mouth, right? But we have to get up and act in spite of that. Because if you act in spite of what is currently happening and all the things, getting a flat tire and family members and all the other drama that's going on in life, and you keep pushing after what you desire, what you want to attain, you will ultimately start to achieve these. Now, is it going to be overnight? No. But if you continue to take actionable steps over and over and over and over again, and have a redundancy of taking action, knowing that if you do this, you are one step closer to your result, you ultimately will start to achieve the results that you want. And then you get to start putting systems and strategy behind your action. And ultimately, you're then going to start reaping the big rewards. You're going to be able to build the life that you want to build. You're going to be able to have the financial income that you want to build. You'll have the wealth that you'll want to build, because not only are you taking the action and taking the steps, you're also then going to be able to systemize and put some strategy behind it. And that's where you start to reap the rewards. That's where I've been able to build over the last 10 years, that the first 3, 4, 5 years, it was just straight action. It was just taking massive action all the time, regardless of any fear or insecurity I was having. I just kept pushing forward. But within about 5 years, I started realizing there's systems and there's strategies to take that to implement that I haven't been doing, that I need to start getting done, and I need to start implementing these systems and putting a process to things, and to be able to systemize that. And if you can take from when I first got started and all that fear and anxiety and what if scenarios to where I was 5 years later, and then take those 5 years later to where I am today, you wouldn't even recognize not only the person I am, but you wouldn't recognize the business. You wouldn't recognize it is just completely transformed. So if you're living in the I want more, if you're living in I deserve more, which you all do, which I do, which everyone deserves more, then you got to find an obligation within yourself to move past the fear, to move past the anxiety, to move past the what if scenarios, and get straight to the point of taking action. Action will kill your fear. I use the example when I speak on stage, or if I'm on my podcast, you might have heard this example before about, when you were a kid and you would climb the big rock, or maybe you would go to a lake, right? And so as is my childhood, we would go to lakes. I was born in California. There was a bunch of lakes around, and there was usually always some big rock or cliff that people would be able to jump off of and jump into the lake, right, or the river. And so that fear, that anxiety of, oh my God, we're way up here, stops people, right? Have you ever seen those people that like go to jump and they just stop, and they go to jump again and they just stop, and they go to jump again and they just stop, right? And that fear and that anxiety that'll continue to grow bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until it just completely stunts them. They are stopped. They will not do it. And the other people jump. They have the same fear. They have the same example. What if, and they jump, and then when they're done jumping, they jump into the water and everything's okay. They have that breath of, they exhale and they're like, oh, that was awesome. And then they can do it over and over and over and over again. But that first time, a lot of times, that's the hardest thing. That's the hardest thing to do. And you just have to take that action, because we create, as crazy as it sounds, we're the ones that create the nonsense. The what if scenarios don't even exist, but we're creating it and building this up to a point that it now has become real, and it feels real in our minds. What if I jump off this cliff or rock or whatever and I belly flop? Well, let's not jump in the belly flop, form. Let's jump with our feet first, right? Let's start there. What if I backflop? What if it hurts? What if I hurt myself? You're going to live in this scenario that doesn't even exist yet. What if you do it and it's awesome and you don't hurt yourself at all? Why don't you go there? It's just kind of built into us. We tend to go to the negative and go into that fear. So by taking action, jumping off that rock, jumping off that cliff, you will ultimately gain way more confidence, which that confidence will simply reduce the fear, reduce the anxiety. You'll no longer say, what if? You'll start to believe in yourself, and you're going to continue to jump, right? And maybe that first rock is a foot above the water. The second rock's 3 feet. The fourth rock is 10 feet. The fifth rock is 20 feet, right? And you start to believe and you can do more. And I really want to impress upon you in this training that we all have it. You're not the only ones of the what ifs. But I'll tell you, the people that ultimately become successful, they remove all of that, and they truly, truly understand at like a deep cellular level that they have to take action each and every day, that they cannot give up, that they cannot make excuses, that they cannot be lazy in how they think. You can't be lazy in how you think, because your thoughts become your words and your words become your actions. And if you think the what ifs, if you think the negativity, then you'll speak it and you will just simply not do it, because you will not take action to do what needs to be done to achieve the result you want. Once you do that, you will be so happy, you will gain so much confidence, and you will continue to move forward, and you will continue to gain success step by step. And to have the proper expectations that it's not going to happen overnight is going to be huge. Nothing happens overnight. And so you might fall into dumb luck. You might send out some marketing and get your first deal and, have only spent $500 and you made 30 grand. Absolutely. Right time, right place, that happens. But to be able to create the life you want, to build the business that you want, you have to remain consistent. You have to take massive action, and you have to be able to remove all of the what if scenarios and do it in spite of, and not be lazy. Do not be lazy with how you think. Do not be lazy with the words you use. And you have to take the actions. Your thoughts become your words become your actions. If you stick to that game plan, you will achieve success. I promise you.